Okay, good morning. So, what we saw last time was that Moshe is dead. Okay, to say that this is maybe the most important point in the chapter 1, that we are talking about this crisis, right? The leadership crisis and the greater challenge of Yehoshua. How could I continue this great leader? Yeah, because Yehoshua was always the loyal student, the number 2, and now he has to step forward and be the number 1. Mm-hmm. So what we're talking about in the first chapter, the 3 parts of the first chapter, is in this context. Mm-hmm. The first conversation with Hashem. Later we will what we saw last time. Later we will see the words of Yehoshua to the people, to Am Israel, the first order of Yehoshua to Am Israel. And then the third part was the conversation between Yehoshua and the 2 tribes, Reuven and Gad, and the half tribe of Menashe. So we saw the first conversation. The first conversation is concentrated in strengthening Yehoshua by Hashem. Hashem telling Yehoshua, be strong, Chazak ve'emat, 3 times. And we can say he told him 2 things: be strong and be careful. Be strong means don't be worried, I will be with you, I will always help you. But be careful, because it is one condition: you should keep doing all what is written in the Torah. And this part also is divided for 2. You should learn the Torah, study Torah, and also after that apply what is written in the Torah. So with this condition, if you can keep these 2 conditions, you will succeed. Anything that you do will be okay. So I saw someone here is raising his hand. You want to say something? Is it Martin or just no? Okay. Okay, so that's what we saw last time, the conversation between Hashem and Yehoshua. Actually, Hashem speaking with Yehoshua. Yehoshua didn't say anything in this case. Okay, just. So now we continue. Like last time, you can see the link in the group to the Yehoshua in Sefer, right? It's written there, all the chapter in English and Hebrew. So the next step is the conversation, the first order of Yehoshua and Am Israel. Vayetzav Yehoshua et shotrei ha'am le'emor. Yehoshua thereupon gave orders to the officials of the people. It's not directly with the people, it's the officials of the people. So what he says, Ivru bekerev ha'machane, go through the camp, ותצוו את העם לאמור, and charge the people both. הכינו לכם צידה, get provisions ready. כי בעוד 3 ימים אתם עוברים את הירדן הזה. For in 3 days time you are to cross the Jordan. לבוא לרשת את הארץ, in order to enter and possess the land, את הארץ, אשר השם אלוקיכם נותן לכם לרשתה. That the Lord your God is giving you as a possession. So what is the first order? The first order is get ready to get inside the land. So get inside the land, I understand that it's the most important thing in the life of Yehoshua. This is his mission. His mission is to get inside the land of Israel and to possess it, to have it, to conquer, you say? Yeah, to conquer it and to have it under your possession, right? But the first words were, Achinu lachem tzeda. Get provisions. What does it mean, provisions? Food, right? Get some food, that because you're going to enter the land of Israel. And here the question is, really, is that what you are telling them? Don't they know that they should take food? I mean, you also told them to take some good shoes, to take the sword. I mean, what kind of order it's? Clearly, you are going to a war. You should take some food, no? I mean, it should be written in the Bible. I mean, we understand that every word in the Bible, in the Tanakh, is holy. Every word is important. Many times, the Mefarshim, the Talmud say, why this word is written? We could have understood without this word. So every word is important. It's here. the Tanakh is writing to us. You should know that Yehoshua's first words to Am Israel as the leader was, Achinu lachem tzeda. Prepare some food for the way. So why is it so important?
Maybe the Jewish people thought that Hashem
Would
in
give
a
them.
miraculous way,
And-
like in a day.
Why would they think that? It's the man, exactly. I mean, here you should understand that until this moment, nobody never was worried about lunch, about preparing the next meal, everything for 40 years. I mean, it changed your mentality. Your mentality is that Hashem takes care of everything in this world. You don't have to do anything. You just have to wake up in the morning, go to the Beis Midrash, and learn Torah. That's what Chachamim say that Am Yisrael did during 40 years. They didn't have to work for food. They didn't have to work for clothes because the clothes were growing with them. And they didn't have to do anything. Yeah.
Building of the Mishkan, because Hashem wanted them to start doing something themselves.
Right.
So should get away from him always providing for them.
Yes, so that's the only thing that they did in those 40 years. And remember that it was in the second year. Now we are 38 years later. And during these 38 years, nothing was done by themselves. So what we are talking here, again, is changing of mentality. The mentality after Moshe was, we are only yeshiva buchers. That's what we are doing, right? We are not doing anything. Mentality under Yehoshua is, you have to take care of everything but by yourself. And this is better because it's natural. It's the way people live in this world. People don't live in the desert, getting the food from the sky. They have to get to work. They have to conquer the land. We will see that this change is going to be gradual because in the beginning, the wars were with miracles, right? If you remember, if you know, we will see that in a few chapters, how did they took Jericho? They just did circles around Jericho 7 times and the walls came down. So it was a great miracle, right? It wasn't natural. But then they had to go in by themselves. I mean, it's a combination. It's a gradual transformation from totally under miracle and totally natural. We go through something that is combined. Anyway, that's what Yehoshua said. You know that until now, you ate the man, but it's not going to be like that anymore. Now you have to prepare yourself in order to be able to get inside. So that's what he told them in the beginning. I mean, it's not only achinu lachem tzeda, we can understand food, but we can also understand, be prepared mentally, right? In the mental way, you should prepare yourself. You should change the way you are thinking, change the way you are living. Okay, it's a big change that we are going to do because crossing this river will change your life for the good, and I wouldn't say for the bad, but for the harder, right? For the good and for the harder. So it's a mentality preparation, mental preparation for entering the land of Israel. And then the second thing is, with 3 days, you will be prepared, you will cross the Jordan. Do you remember what was other things that needed preparation of 3 days? Matan Torah, exactly. When Moshe, yeah. So when Moshe told Am Yisrael, you are going to get the Torah, you are going to this big event of seeing hearing the word of Hashem, etc. He told them, you should be prepared 3 days. Prepare yourself 3 days. It's not 3 days for prepare the food. It's 3 days again for spiritual preparation, because before entering the land of Israel, it's like before getting the Torah. We can compare them in many meanings, right? The Torah can be applied totally only in the land of Israel. And the Torah is guiding us in the right way. How should we live in the land of Israel? So like you were prepared 3 days for the Torah, you should also be prepared 3 days for getting inside the land of Israel, into the land of Israel. So what would be the reaction of the people to that? It doesn't say anything, right? I'm just guessing. It doesn't say about the reaction. They would be happy. Oh, finally we are adults. You know, when we're children, you're doing anything from them, they want to do by themselves. They want, for example, to make a meal by themselves, and then you have to clean the kitchen for a week,
Yeah.
right? So, but people are happy to be independent and to make things by themselves. But it also, we are talking here about mature people, adult people that are getting used to something. It's very hard to change. As you know, as you're getting older, it's harder to make changes in the way you are, in your behavior, in your life. And it's also going to be much harder. So people didn't, it doesn't say, but we can guess that not everybody was very happy about this change. And some argument may rise. You are not like Moshe. In the days of Moshe, that wouldn't happen, right? And also, something that is important to understand when you change government, that also we talked about many times about the democracy and how it works. The new government assume all the commitments of the old government. If the old government made a contract, an international contract, the new government can't cancel it. It can, but it's very bad. I mean, it shouldn't do that. So Yehoshua now must affirm that all the rules that were in the days of Moshe will continue. And if you have any argument that Moshe would have done things differently, you should remember that Moshe also say the same thing like I say. That's the reason that the next conversation is very important, because the next conversation is with the tribes of Reuven, Gad, and Chatzi Shevet Menashe. Do you remember the story of these tribes? I will remind you quickly what it was about. So they were in the other side of the Jordan, what is nowadays the kingdom of Jordan. And over there, it's like a lot of space with a lot of good land for shepherds, for sheep and goats. Well, there are also mountains, it's very dispersed, the population. So there were two tribes and a half, Reuven, Gad, and Chatzi Shevet Menashe, half tribe of Menashe, that wanted to stay in this land. Is this the land of Israel? Partly. We saw last time the map. We have the other side of the Jordan, I mean the eastern side of the Jordan, which is the holiest part of the land of Israel, but also, I said the western part, yeah, the western part. And the eastern part of the Jordan is half land of Israel. It's not all the laws, for example, of Trumot U'Maasrot applied there, etc. So there are some differences in the holiness of this land, and they wanted to stay in this part and not get inside the land of Israel. In the beginning, Moshe was very upset with that. It reminds him the sin of the spy, that they didn't want to get inside the land of Israel. You say you are making the same thing, you make the same mistake. That was the reason that we were had to go 40 years in the desert. You are making the mistake. But after that, they said, no, we will help you get in the land of Israel, conquer the land of Israel. How do you say conquer? Yeah. Conquer the land of Israel. But after that, we want to live here. This is the more adequate place for our flocks, for our sheep. So Moshe did this condition with them. You can stay here, live here your families, live here your properties, but you should go with the people, and not only go with the people, you should be the first in the war, the first line. And then you can, if you help your brothers conquer the land of Israel, then you can go back and live in this place. So Yehoshua now wants to assure that this contract, this agreement, is still valid, right? And like I said before, the rules of the last government continue in the new government, right? So that's what he says. And Joshua said to Reuven, Gad, and the half tribe of Menashe, זכור את הדבר אשר ציווה אתכם משה עבד השם לאמור. השם אלוהיכם מניח לכם ונתן לכם את הארץ הזאת. נשיכם, טפיכם ומקניכם ישבו בארץ אשר נתן לכם משה בעבר הירדן, ואתם תעברו חמושים לפני אחיכם, כל גיבורי החיל, ועזרתם אותם. So, in English, remember what Moshe, the servant of the Lord, enjoined upon you. Ordered, right? Enjoined, it's like order?
Yeah.
It said tziva, ordered you. Ordered you. When he said, the Lord your God is granting you heaven, he has assigned this territory to you. So I agree that this territory is going to be yours, but let your wives, children, and livestock remain in the land that Moshe assigned to you on this side of the Jordan. But every one of your fighting men shall go across armed in the van of your kinsmen, and you shall assist them. עד אשר יניח השם לאחיכם ככם, וירשו גם המה את הארץ אשר השם אלוקיכם נותן להם. ושבתם לארץ ירושתכם, וירשתם אותה, שנתן לכם משה עבד השם בעבר הירדן, מזרח השמש. Until the Lord has given your kinsmen a haven, such as you have, and they too have gained possession of the land that the Lord your God has assigned to them, then you may return to the land on the east side of the Jordan, which Moshe, the servant of the Lord, assigned to you as your possession, and you may possess it. Okay, so Yehoshua only reminds them the contract that they say in Moshe, and it was, like I said before, very important in the beginning, like to declare, to make sure that the authority of Yehoshua continue only also after Moshe has died. So what will be the reaction? ויענו את יהושע לאמור, כל אשר ציוויתינו נעשה, ואת כל אשר תשלחנו נלך. The answer Yehoshua saying, we will do everything you have commanded us, and we will go wherever you send us. Yeah, it's a good answer. And it also reminds us, I will read the next verse and I will say that. ככל אשר שמענו אל משה כן נשמע אליך, רק יהיה השם אלוקיך עמך כאשר היה עם משה. We will obey you just as we obey Moshe. Let but, here comes the but, right? Let but the Lord your God be with you as he was with Moshe. We will be with you, with the condition that Hashem will be with you. What?
Why did they say, Lord your God, their God also? Why didn't they say, Lord our God?
Yeah, it's a way of speaking. We see that in several places in the Bible when he is the closest man to Hashem. He is yours more than he is ours, because you are more righteous, you are more elevated. So your God, or we can say, like I said now, as long as he is your God, as long as he is with you. So again, we saw that Hashem encouraged Yehoshua, but with a condition. Here they encourage Yehoshua. We will do everything you say, with one condition, that we will see that you are succeeding, that you can continue the... No, but interesting thing that, like I said before, we saw the connection with Ma'amad Har Sinai, right? Remember 3 days. Here we have something also similar. I will read it again. ככל אשר ציוויתנו, נעשה. ככל אשר שמענו אל משה, כן, נשמע. Remember נעשה ונשמע?
נעשה before נשמע.
Yeah, and it's the same exact word. When Moshe tells the Jewish people, I have Torah to give you, what were the answer? Na'aseh ve'nishma. We will do and we will hear. How can they do before they hear what they have to do? No, it's like a commitment, whatever you will say. We will hear the details later, but principally we agree to everything that you're going to say. So it's the same commitment here. We will do everything that you order us, and we will hear everything that you will tell us the same way we heard Moshe. So again, it's like a total commitment, a total acceptance. You have our back, you can do, you can lead, we will follow you. But this condition is that Hashem will be with you. Okay, so we can understand here in 2 ways. We can understand like the condition of Hashem, if you will do the Torah, if you will follow the order of the Torah, so Hashem will be with you and we also will be with you. If you won't walk in the ways of the Torah, so Hashem won't be with you. So in this case, the condition is not so bad. I mean, it's not like a threat, right? It's not like a threat. It's like, well, you should follow the Torah. We can see also that it's halakha generally. You shall always obey the king, unless he's ordering you think against the Torah, right? So this is like the laws of the king, the laws. What's happened? It's something that it may be a problem in many places when the law, the civil law, is against the Torah. So we have the general rule of dina de malchuta dina. the law of the country is the law of the religion in some ways, right? So if the country order you something, you are obligated to complete with the law as if it was written in the Torah, right? Because the Torah tells us you should obey the civil law. What's happened when the law is against the Torah? Should we obey the law? It's something that Baruch Hashem normally nowadays we don't have this conflict, but it used to be in the past, and many times there are some details about this halachot. Generally, we should find. I mean, it depends if it's risk your life. It's only issue of money, or I mean, there are many details. But what it clearly is that if it's the law of the land or of Israel, it should say the reader, you should follow the Torah. You can't do things against the Torah. Again, I'm not talking about nowadays in Israel, what's happening. There was some discussion around the Natkut when they exiled Jews from the land. So if it's against the Torah, should you participate or not participate? It caused a lot of, like in Gaza. So it's caused a lot of discussions and disagreement in our stream, in the Tzibur Dati, in the religious communities. Anyway, if I understand this way, just Hashem will be with you means just if you keep the Torah and then Hashem will be with you, then we will be with you. This is, I mean, a better way to see these words of God and Reuven, Gad, and Chatshiv and Menashe. The worst way is to say we will see. You know, this in terms of the fans of success. When you are a fan of a group, of a sport group, of a sport team, but only when they win, right? That it's how do you say that? The success fan.
It's like being pickle.
Yeah, or that's the fault.
Yeah.
We have an expression in English is you jump on the band.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's
So that's
popular just because they're winning. When they're not winning, you don't really care.
Fair weather.
Okay, so the question is that that's what they say. Well, I will read again and tell me what you hear here. Okay, it say, we will obey you just as we obeyed Moshe. But the Lord your God be with you as he was with Moshe. So what is the last part of the sentence means? As long as you succeed, we will be with you. The first time you won't succeed, we won't be with you. That's one explanation. The other explanation I said before, you should be with Hashem the way Moshe was, and then we will be with you.
Right.
And the third is we can translate the word but in other way. It doesn't say but is aval, right? Ach, maybe. It says it's rak. Rak, only that Hashem. We can understand it like a wish. We wish you, rak, please, just that what we want just to happen, right? Rak, in modern Hebrew we say like that. Rak sheze יקרה. I mean, I wish, הלוואי, I wish that it will happen. We wish you, we want that Hashem will be with you the same way it was with Moshe. But from our part, you don't have to worry. So I will leave this open. Maybe we will see that after the first failure of Yehoshua. Huh?
That's a nice answer.
Yeah, it's a nice. So I mean, but maybe we will go back to that when we will see the first failure of Yehoshua. Do you know what is the first failure of Yehoshua?
Sorry, the first.
Failure.
Oh,
Failure. Ai. Yes, the war of Ai, when he lost the battle. Okay, so we will see how Yehoshua felt. Yeah.
Quick question about why was it half of Menashe?
Yeah, that's interesting question.
It's not the whole tribe.
Yeah, so the easiest way to answer that is that half of the tribe were with a lot of flocks, and half of the tribe worked in other things. Right? I mean, the tribe itself was divided to families. But there is a better explanation. We will see in the end of the book that one of the worries about this division, separation between the tribes, is to lose a connection. You are in the other side of the river. It's not only a line, it's geographical border in some ways, and it's other mentality. And they can go and mix with the nations. So it's going to be some disconnection between the tribes of the West and the tribes of the East. So when you take one tribe and divided them, so this tribe will be more connected. So Menashe would be the bridge between the two parts of the nation. So they keep them connected. I can say that if we see along the Bible, we can see that this separation did cause problems, and the tribes of Gad and Reuben disappeared from the Bible quite fast. We don't see them very present. We read about people from tribe of Ephraim, of Menashe, etc. We almost don't read anything about tribes of Gad and Reuben. Apparently, there was also a very severe war with the Moavitas, where Shevet Gan was almost disappeared. I mean, there are many little stories in the Bible that are many times implied, not very clear. There's some verse or other verse that you can understand something. There's a midrashim complete. Yeah, but the reason that Moshe was annoyed in the beginning apparently was right in some way. This separation wasn't such a good idea, and but it's happened, and yeah. So here we are still in the good times when everybody is obeying and everybody is connected and supportive, and they tell him, "Don't worry, we will complete the contract. Not only that, we will be with you. We will obey anything that you say. Not only what Moshe said, also the things that you will say from now on, we will obey you." So it's like a total commitment to the leadership of Yehoshua. And then they add another verse. So here, I'm not sure. Yehoshua speaking with only 2 tribes and a half. But the next verse, also the verse that we just read, we can understand that it was said by everybody, not only by these 2 tribes. Because this commitment is not about only getting inside the land of Israel and doing whatever Moshe told them. It's a general commitment, Yehoshua told them. It's a general commitment, right? So the next verse says, "Kol ish asher yamre et picha, v'lo yishma et devarecha, lechol asher tetzavenu yumat." You understand? I have to do the translation. I will read. Rak chazak ve'ematz. Chazak ve'ematz, you already remember, right? That's the words. So these words, 2 words, chazak ve'ematz, appears in this chapter 4 times. 3 times by Hashem, 1 time by the 2 tribes, or maybe all Am Israel. I just want to mention that this word will also say to Yehoshua by Moshe in Sefer B'Midbar. In the end of Sefer B'Midbar, he also told him, "Chazak ve'ematz, be strong." Okay, again, all that to encourage Yehoshua.
Be strong, be strengthened.
It's translated like only be strong and resolute. Resolute. What does it mean?
Resolute is like be
Brave.
Be definitive. Very
Be firm in what you do.
yeah.
Be firm.
Yeah.
Okay. Usually nowadays we translate ometz as bravery. To be brave.
Yeah, be strong.
Be strong and be brave.
Courageous.
Courageous. Yeah. So, but it can also be resolute. Yeah. So I will read all the verse. "Any man who floats your commands and does not obey every order you give him shall be put to death." Like that's it. Okay, so it's a really a strong commitment, right? It's not only, well, we will do whatever you say. No, we will kill everybody is not going to do whatever you say. So about killing people, that was a threat. So about killing people, we know that in the Torah there are some cases that is allowed, or the punishment is death. But as the Mishnah said, it's very hard to arrive to a situation when Beit Din actually kills someone. It was almost impossible. The conditions, so the Mishnah say 1 time in 70 years, but the conditions are almost impossible because you need 2 witnesses, and the witnesses should warn the person that did the bad deed before he did that, and also clarify what would be the punishment. They say, "Don't do that. If you're going to do that, we're going to kill you. So don't do that." So any logical person who knows that this is a law of the land, and is hearing that, and he knows that that's what's going to happen, won't do that, right? It's not, unless he wants to kill himself, that has a point. But if he's not going to want to kill himself, if they're warning him, listen, someone can do things without anybody seeing him. Okay, that's other thing. But in this case, we won't kill him. So again, we are like in closed circle. If you know that this is a law, and it is a no, if he knows that they have the power to kill him, and they told him, "Don't do that because we're going to kill you," probably he won't do that, right? So it was very, very hard to arrive to a situation when they didn't actually kill someone. It was like the title, yeah, but it wasn't normally done. So, I mean, what I said, it's very general. There are some conditions that can be changed, and sometimes it can't happen. I mean, it's not exactly like the way I describe it. If it's very, very clear to the person that they're going to kill him, and I mean that it's a prohibition, that is a punishment, so maybe it's a discussion if the warrant is necessary, is still necessary. Anyway, it's very, very hard to happen. When it is easy to happen, and when we see reading the Bible, it's the other laws. It's called the laws of the king. And the king can do things not according to the regular law. It's again something that's not happened nowadays, that we don't have monarchy, and the king doesn't have any. We still have king, right? What's his name? Charles or something. Okay, but Charles, His Majesty, Charles can't kill people because he wants, right? Windsor?
Windsor family.
Yeah.
This is capable of doing something, political action. It's outside of the moral action. Rabbi Steinfeld mentioned that Pinchas was.
Yeah.
Pinchas.
He killed.
Pinchas did it as a person who would have been executed, but he did it as a leader of the people. So it was a political act.
Okay, the act of Pinchas is very complicated to
Yeah.
understand. It was very extreme act, and it's something that should be discussed in a deep way. But yeah, it's not regular. It's
No.
normally not allowed. And as you said, if someone does that because he thinks it's not appropriate what I'm seeing, so I will kill you, he will be killed also, right? So normally we don't do that. This specific situation, it was allowed to Pinchas, and we have to discuss the details. What I'm trying to say right now, that the king has the power to kill someone that disobey him in any way, even if it's a small thing, because it's the authority and the power of the kingdom. If the king doesn't show his power, so people won't obey him. So in this case, this punishment and other punishment, he can decide to do other things. He can hit people or put them in jail, or whatever he decides, to keep his authority. So what actually they are saying here to Yehoshua, you are the king. Okay, you have all the authority to. It's not only the technical detail. We are going to kill people that won't obey you. It's not only about that. It's only also about clarifying that your state, your status, is as a king. Okay, I just also only mention that what I said about the king is also the Sanhedrin, the Beit Din, the court, sometimes has the authority to punish not according to the regular law. When they saw that is a phenomenon, how do you say phenomenon?
Yeah, phenomenal.
Phenomenon that is a national problem. Everybody is disrespecting this law. We see it's here a specific problem. So they have the power to punish more than is allowed according to the regular law. There is a discussion if they can also kill people for that, executed. There's a discussion, but they surely can punish in other ways. So they have the authority to do things not according to the law. But the one who has the authority to kill everybody that not obeying, and it can be even not against the law or something like that, just didn't obey the king, he is the king. So what it's saying here, everybody that won't hear you and won't obey to what your order is going to be death, we will put him to death, put to death. Yeah, so it's only saying the same thing that we said before, you are the king right now. Okay, this is what they actually say. Okay, so we finish we finish the first chapter. We will try with 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes. We only start the next chapter and put some questions, and we will answer the Bezrat Hashem next week. So the first verse of the next. Anybody remember what it's about?
Oh, the spies.
The spies. Okay.
It's
So
it's
it's Haftarah Parashat Shlach. Yes. וישלח יהושע בן נון מן השיטים 2 אנשים מרגלים חרש לאמור. לכו ראו את הארץ ואת יריחו. וילכו ויבואו בית אישה זונה ושמה רחב וישכבו שמה. Joshua, son of Nun, secretly sent 2 spies from Shittim, saying, "Go, reconnoiter the region of Jericho," like spy, no, see, reconnoiter, right? Okay, the region of Jericho. So they set out, and they came to the house of a harlot named Rachav and lodged there. So here's some question. Do we remember what happened the last time Am Yisrael sent spies?
Yeah.
What happened was they gave a bad report. However, there's a question now of what word Moshe used as a spy. No, I don't think he used.
He didn't use the word spy, right? You're right.
He used 2
Yeah,
words,
Latur et haaretz.
but they were not that Joshua used.
Yes.
Claimed that Central Rabbi, my mind, Sachs, that had to go into the land, to walk through the land and find out what was in there instead of finding out the bad things about it. That only Caleb and Yeshua knew that, understood what Moses was saying, and the others did not.
So you already give us one answer of the question that I was going to ask. But I mean, there are many questions, many answers. So the question is like that. We remember what happened the last time. The last time Am Yisrael sent Meraglim, they came back with bad report, as you say, and they were, how do you say, demoralizing, right? All the Jewish people, and they didn't want to come to the land of Israel, and the punishment was 40 years in the desert. So the question is, do we want another 40 years in the desert? Why do we send spies? Hashem told you, get in and conquer the land, go and do that. Why do you send spy? Now, another thing is the word cheres, secretly. Secretly, but to say cheres, to teach us that he didn't send them with orchestra, with them. I mean, clearly, if you send spy, you do that secretly. So why is it the Tanakh had to read this word? Maybe. Okay. Again, this I'm only putting the question. We can see the answers after that. Lechu reu et haaretz ve'et Yericho. See the land in Jericho. So they go, and they're going to the house of a harlot. Didn't they find any yeshiva to sleep or something? Where are they going? This is a place you should go.
It's residents.
Yeah.
I think they rented the farm because if they're going in to spy out the city, they figure they tell them, well, we're going to go see the harlot. Oh, well, good.
Come in. Because it's only excuse. And after that, they didn't go to a house, they went to learn some sugiya in the Talmud. No, they went to this house. Ushma Rachav, the name was Rachav, Vayishkevu Shama, and they lodged there. Okay. And I will read another verse. Vayamer lemelech Yericho lemor, and it was said to the king of Jericho, Anashim ba'u hena halayla. Some men have come here tonight. So how secretly it was if they found them immediately? It was, I mean, even one night they couldn't come in and be in secret. They found him immediately. So they were very not professional.
That's the ones, the guests of the harlots.
They weren't very professional, right? Okay, so we leave this question for the next time. B'ezrat Hashem. Any question about or comments about what we already seen? Okay. Thank you.
He called them